Peace, family. You know, for the life of me, I don't understand why I even waste my time listening to Stephen A. Smith and the guests that he has on. This man is the most idiotic political commentator I've ever seen, heard in my entire life. The other day, he had Officer Tatum, a black conservative, on his show. And Stephen A. Smith wanted to put himself as a person that's like some type of mediator between the Democrats and Republicans, because he on this mission, on this quest to see what can be done to save America. Why any man of color will want to waste any part of his time trying to save the system of government, the country that enslaved our people, put us in historical, economic, political, industrial, social indifference for 500. Why would anybody want to embark upon a venture to save the country that treated our people, our ancestors, the most inhumane ever recorded? We received the most inhumane treatment in the history of Earth. And you got black people still trying to find some way to save this country. It's ridiculous. Now here, Officer Tatum, he comes out with his own video the other day, talking about the fact that the fighter at the UFC 250 at the White House, saying that maybe Michelle Obama is not a man, but she's not attractive. He says Melania Trump, now she's beautiful. And see, this is why I say there's got to be a great divide. There's got to be some type of time, place, event where black people just say enough is enough. It is time for us to segregate ourselves from these people, just like the Bible says. See, this is one of the things that I believe wholeheartedly, that the stories in the Bible, whether you believe them or not, and for the record, I believe very little what the Bible say, but I do believe that it could be used to correct bad behavior and bring about solutions if you just apply them. You don't have to wait till anybody give them to you or deliver them to you or whatever. You can see the intentions of God and what he intended for our people, and we can mimic those things ourselves. When Officer Tatum sits up here and says that, you know, he didn't want to go out and say that Michelle Obama was a man, but he did go and say, but she's not attractive. As a matter of fact, he said that Barack Obama is more attractive than Michelle. And see, with people like this, it's going to be, if it's not one thing, it's another. So if Michelle Obama is not a man, she's not attractive. If she's not this, then she's going to be that. There's no pleasing these people. And to sit up here and say that Melania is beautiful, and let's be clear, because of the position I take of black independence, I do not hate white people. Melania is a very attractive woman, but her character makes her ugly. And I just don't look at words as two-dimensional. I look at words in the fullness of what they're supposed to be. When you have an attractive woman, and when you look at Melania Trump, you do not have no recorded history of this woman being on the arm of a man that has integrity and morals. Every man that you've known her to be associated with, he was there just for economic means. She's with Donald Trump because he's a so-called billionaire. And where did Donald Trump meet Melania? Through Jeffrey Epstein. And even before that, Melania was posing for some nude magazine. This woman has a history of attaching herself to persons and entities that just wish to exploit her. How do you look at Melania Trump and say that she's the true essence of what beauty is? Integrity, morals, standards. Um, how do you look at her and say that? Yeah, she's beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, she's corrupt. But when you look at Michelle Obama, who's been on the arm of Barack Obama since they was in school, how do you find anything negative to say about a woman like that? You know, I just don't understand it. And for you, Officer Tatum, to be ranting and raving about how the Democrats are on this homosexual kick, and you actually go on social media and say that Barack Obama looked better than Michelle. How do you let those words even come out your mouth and you be the full-grown man that you claim that you are? Because see, if I see a guy with his woman, the only thing that I say is the woman is a testament to his game. If I see a big guy, fat guy with a slim little piece of arm candy, it's his game. I'm not going to sit up here and say that, he actually looked better than the woman. Who does that? But like I said, this is the commentary that you can expect to find, and the people who come on Stephen A. Smith's show. Because Stephen A. Smith, if you were trying to be the great unifier that you claim you want to be, and you see that Officer Tatum has came out and made this ridiculous statement about Michelle Obama, who a woman that you say could be the greatest first lady of all time. You said yourself that she's beautiful, she's accomplished, and you got a person that's coming on your show that's saying that, well, she may or may not be a man, but she's ugly. How do you continue to bring this guy on your format? Unless he makes a formal apology and admit that to everybody that he knows Michelle Obama is not a man. He knows that she is not unattractive. He's just saying this for clicks and views. He's worse than Melania, doing this against his own people. And like I say, the Bible gives us instruction on what we could do to make a better way for our life. And this is what I've been working for. Like I said, with my organization that I have, Citizens of the African Order, which is in the LLC, I've been posting some images about what the vision of my organization will be. I had a friend of mine who commented on it, and she was like, you created this? I said, well, I didn't create it. I said, AI created it. I just described in detail, great detail, the organizational concept of what our people will look like if we return to a disciplined way of life, and what we can accomplish together with the proper leadership, the proper organization, the proper government, a proper infrastructure to support our own essential needs and services. This is the vision that AI created of my organization. And it's not hard. God told us to come out from among them. He didn't say come out from among them and bring the good ones, the ones that you like. He said, come out from among them. And we just can't grasp that concept. God intended us to be the example of the world. People that live outside of our community, they have to look to us as an example of leadership and direction and the way our people carry ourselves. This is what we can create for ourselves. And let me close this video by saying this. When I look at where we are as a society today, and where we could be if we followed the direction of the principles of the Bible, my organization, my leadership, my vision, that we can all come together. It reminded me of a friend of mine who lived with his mother. His mother was not that tidy of a person, but in his area, where he resided, it was spotless. It was clean. He lived his life in this house the way he wanted it to be. My organizational concept will be just like that. You look at the way this world is today, the disarray, the wars. You got citizens learning jujitsu, boxing, putting up ring cameras, not to protect themselves from foreigners, from outsiders, but to protect yourself from your own neighbors, from people that live in your own community. This is the system of government that you are living up under right now, and you're sponsoring. And if it doesn't work for you, there is no off-ramp. My organizational concept will allow us to create little pockets in this calamity that we can live how we decide. Where we are respected, we are loved, we are appreciated, we are fed into, we are supported. And regardless to what's on the other side of that door, regardless to what's upstairs, what's next in this room, in this area, we will live at the way we determined we should live. This country had 250 years to realize its concept. And you have just elected a felon and a pedophile as president of the United States. If that's not a sign, if there's no off-ramp from this organization, this is the time for us to start building one. Now, I'm in this video here, and as always, these are my thoughts, my opinions. Now, I invite you to leave yours in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.